Sue is a member of the Car Flipping Forum. She joined not too long ago, and I noticed her her story, and I thought, man, this would be great if she'd come on online and tell us. And boom, here she is. So this is exciting. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, now, Sue, your Facebook profile says you're a mom of six and you flip cars and
Yeah,
among other things.
just on the side. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
little bit. Yeah.
but now
So,
you're a full-blown car dealer there in Reading, Pennsylvania. Uh,
yeah, we were just starting up a month ago. A month ago, we got in this full place, and so yeah. You want me just to give a brief recap of my story, or?
I'd love it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So yeah, like Randy says, it's not the normal to have a gal doing this, but I tell people it just fell into my lap. So I'll give you a little bit of my history, my story. So I was born in Belize
Mm-hmm.
to a Dutch-speaking Canadian parents in a Russian Mennonite community. So that was super unique. I don't think there's many that are that that have been there, done that. So anyways, when I was 6, we moved to Costa Rica. So that's where I grew up. And that's why I can speak Spanish. So I learned English in first grade in Costa Rica. And we just, yeah, grew up there in a small community, Christian church, Christian school, private school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very involved in mission work. And my family had a chicken business. So I worked there when I wasn't teaching school. And never went to college.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in my early 20s, my brother and I went to Nicaragua on full-time mission work. So we were involved in we started a clinic there, attended many people, had many robberies and assaults. Yeah, I was there about a year and a half. And then a guy from Pennsylvania came and was helping our clinic. So he and I were married about a year later, had our wedding in Costa Rica, and then have lived in Pennsylvania ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had 6 children in real close succession. Like in about the next 10 years, we had 6 children, home births. I had everything. Like we were like homesteading, kind of like homeschooled for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the babies, and I thought that's what I was going to do all my life. But then after like 20 years of a confusing, difficult marriage, a little bit over 20 years, the divorce was final last year. So here I am, like thinking I was going to raise my children, the rest of their teenage years, but we had 50-50 custody. So half the time I'm by myself. I'm like, what in the world am I going to do with my life? And like empty nesting prematurely. And I didn't want to go get a job and miss out on my kids, games and activities. They do volleyball and basketball, and they're super athletic. So anyways, I didn't know what I was going to do. So then I thought, yeah, just getting an 8-to-5 job would be super, I'd just be giving my life away, kind of is what I thought. So anyways, I was throwing some ideas around. My son's girlfriend got me into Monat. So that was really helpful for me because I went live for the first time like 3 years ago. I had 0 social media, but Monat got me into it, and just a lot of online friends. I grew my social media following a lot and just met a lot of new friends, reconnected with a lot of old friends, and got comfortable with lives and stories and all that. So that was super helpful.
That's beauty products, is that right?
Yeah, it's hair care
Okay.
and skincare and body care.
Okay.
And we also do some wellness. So it helped my skin and hair too to get much better. So anyways, there's a good sale on today if you want. I'm still with Monat too, but I'm more into cars now. So then I was living in an apartment because we separated, and I needed to update my 2003 Honda Pilot. I needed to put work into it or sell it. So I found a Chevy Trax 2020 in Marketplace, and it had 9,000 miles. So I traded my car, and then the guy I bought it from, he's Argentinian, and so I speak Spanish, which is super helpful. So he helped me through some electrical issues it had. And then my daughter was getting married in July. So I'm like, I need a dependable car. So he says, oh, I'll lend you another one. Or he says, you can buy it if you want. So I ended up buying it. And then 2 weeks after the wedding, which was last July. So like in August, I sold it and made about $1,000. And then he's like, I'll bring you another one. I'm like, okay. So I sold that one. He just kept bringing me more cars and more cars. So I'm not going to say how many I flipped. So it's just been since August. Like I never knew anything about cars. I'm not a mechanic.
Uh-huh.
But my social media following helped me. So
So
anyways,
he was providing you with a finished product that you had a vehicle that's ready to sell.
sometimes, and also like he would do some art titles. So then I was helping him work them through the garages. So
Mm-hmm.
some of them took a while, some are still in the garages, but now we're going more clean title. It's
So you
much,
said our title, that means rebuilt.
yes, like
Okay.
he would buy them at Copart,
Okay.
and he
Uh-huh.
would get our guys to fix them,
I see.
and then we would sell them. So and
Awesome. That's a great partnership. That's a because we talk about partnerships a lot of times on Flipping Genius, and that's a unique one. That's great
yeah,
to find a source like that. That's exciting.
yeah, he's been super helpful and patient with me and teaching me about cars. So
Mhm.
I can jump start a car now, which I was never even comfortable with that. Just like
Mhm.
left or right, positive, negative. I was so confusing. And so now like I've learned a lot about cars. I'm still not a mechanic by any stretch, but I
Mhm.
know about a lot of the stuff. So anyways,
Mhm.
we won't go into that. So did you have any questions before I rattle
Yeah.
on?
No, no, I'm really delighted that you're prepared to talk about it, and that's awesome. So that was just last August when you flipped your first car, pulled $1,000 out of it. That's always good when you come out with more money than you went in with,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's not a guarantee. I've
I
got
know.
a few on my lot right now that are questionable. Um, so looking at your website, you're selling some nice vehicles. Are you financing the vehicles now?
So it's a variety. Some I finance, some I'm selling for people. One our mechanic just had an F-150, a beautiful high like raised pickup,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably worth like $40,000. But it was our title because it was hit in the front right a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he said I could sell it for 25,500. So like I never put any money into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that one just sold on Saturday. So I think I made $1,000 on it, and I never had to invest in it. So it varies. My Argentinian partner, he has some of them are his, some are mine, some
Mm-hmm.
are other people's. Sometimes I flip them for other people. So yeah, I don't have to invest my own money in them. And
When you do buy a vehicle, where are you finding your vehicles?
we go to Mannheim auction or America ABC in
Mm-hmm.
Lancaster.
Okay.
There's different auctions around. So and now
I know.
I just got my dealer's license, and now I can go by myself to any auction buy him. Because before he was the dealer, so I didn't have my license, but I just
I
got it
see.
last week.
Okay, yeah, and you've got a nice building. I saw your video. Um, it looks like every state has different requirements. So it looks like your state requires that you have to have a physical building.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Because yeah, I was having too many cars on my lot. I live in a development, and I had one neighbor complain. So I'm like,
Hmm.
I got to either quit doing this, go big or go home. So
Hmm.
yeah, you had to have a lot. So
Hmm.
um,
And you have room for 30 vehicles on your lot.
yes.
How many vehicles do you have right now?
It's about 10 to 15, but we need to stock up and get some more.
Hmm.
I'm just waiting. I was waiting on my licenses to go through and EIN number and all that. So I'm still in the beginning. So I don't have my business bank account yet. So
Hmm.
some of those steps I need to, it's like one step at a time. I can't do it all. So
How do you do your marketing? Is it mostly through Facebook?
mostly Facebook Marketplace. And then I was raised Mennonite. So I have a lot of Mennonite friends. So there's some Mennonite groups I'm part of. And
Ah,
so I sold a lot with them. And people just see me and trust me. Like they'll leave down payments and yeah, I don't know why they just trust me. So I'm
ah,
pretty vulnerable on Facebook. You can follow me if you want to just my personal Facebook, because I was never on Facebook before. So I don't post about my children a lot, but I'm
mhm.
there and do
You
live.
you have a Facebook page for the business too, right?
I don't, yeah. It's like, why would I? Because I don't do
Oh,
Facebook for like my children's lives because they don't
okay.
appreciate that. So
I thought I'd found one for Premium 61 auto sales.
oh
Is
yeah,
that?
but that was a previous owner. So what we're
Oh,
doing here is
oh.
there's two Dominican guys that were owning this before.
Hmm.
So I'm just being added to their partnership. The one guy, the main guy, he had to leave because he had heart problems. He had to go to the Dominican and do surgeries and stuff. So they're just adding me to the partnership. And then once my licenses are through, they're going to phase out.
Okay.
So that made it easier. I didn't have to start from fresh, everything.
And you like you said, you speak Spanish. Does that make up a big part of your business?
Yes, it's like 75% of my business is Spanish. So even the local mechanic shops, the body shop guys, the people that come on my lot to buy, the Facebook marketplace, I don't know what I do without Spanish. That's truly valuable. So if you don't know your second language, go on Duolingo and learn it. Like, I know I'm blessed at it. I'm fluent in it because I grew up with it, but anybody can learn.
Duolingo. I learned some Spanish, not for the car business, but actually for the construction business. A few years ago, partner and I built a house to flip, and I knew that speaking Spanish would be a huge benefit, and it really was here in Alabama, and it would be even more so. Unfortunately, I have like zero memory, so I can't. All I can remember is I can tell you I can't speak Spanish, but I still use Spanish translation, especially when I get a truck. I'll print flyers half in Spanish, half in English, and then I pass them out at job sites where I know there's people looking for trucks, and that's proved pretty beneficial. Well, that's an exciting story. I mean, really, it's so cool that you chose this path. I just did a podcast last week talking about how a couple from Tennessee was seeking to dominate their market. But I talked about, in my mind, my goal is independence and freedom. And that's something that you seem to be finding in your own business. Is that part of your motivation?
You mean that I don't have to have a job that ties me down?
Correct.
Yeah, because like my family still lives in Costa Rica. So in August, I'm going to go for 2 weeks, take my children to Costa Rica. And like when they have games, I can take off. And especially when I was flipping from home, like I could do, and I was total freedom, my time freedom.
Exactly. I mean, there's a little fear there, I suppose, because with that paycheck comes some security. Of course, they can always take that away. So
yeah. And hopefully at the time we'll be able to hire someone to be in the office full time, so I don't have to be as tied down. Right now, I'm spending time here, which I'm good with it. Like I don't have the kids every other week anyways, so.
That's what I was going to ask you. So is it just you right now, or do you have somebody else there with you?
No, the same guy that helped me, he's still working with me, so we're in this together. And then our kids help. He has a son that helps. I have 2 that are in high school that help, and
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's really great. And looks like you've got a good. I heard lots of traffic going by. That's
we have like 3,000 to 5,000 cars a day that go by. So it's a very nice spot. There's good potential here. So I'm hoping I can do well, and it can be a blessing to many. I was gonna just like, I know some of you probably would like to start doing it. So some things that have helped me, I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, I'll throw in a few things. Well, first of all, God helped me through the most difficult, darkest days of my life. Going through divorce is not an easy thing, and it was very hard for my kids, but God helped me through that step by step. So faith in him is super important for me. I also had a great support team. My family was amazing. Church, I had a Bible study group of gals. And then of course, all my online friends. So I feel like I know them even if I've never met them. One thing that helped me a lot is I eat healthy, and I've been doing that for quite a while. So I have really good energy because I don't eat all the junk food. And then just the social media, Monade helped me with self-development. Like they're really teaching self-development. So if we're consistent in self-development every day, just even if it's 15 minutes a day, like it's super, super important. And then I have some recommendations, like Atomic Habits is a great book to start with, or you can do podcasts too. But like if you devote like a couple minutes every day, it compounds. The compound effect is another great one. That has helped me a lot, like to get over myself and past, the issues I was dealing with, but like move on with life and get healthy mentally. So do self-development. That's super important. So as far as flipping cars, one thing you need to love people, like really enjoy people. And I do that. I think every person's an interesting world, and I try to treat them with respect, no matter where they come from. And I truly enjoy people. And I think they can tell that when I'm with them. Like I have fun dealing with them. Try to respect them. Then the other one on social media, like you can't just post once in a while and then be absent. Like be consistent. Like post consistently, go live, interact with other people, add value to people. like I've had so many referrals from friends that I have never even met. They refer, even if they're out across the state, like across the country, like doesn't matter what state they're from, even other countries, they can refer people to me that are in this area.
Mhm.
Also, I've had like a guy flew in from Georgia to buy a car, and
Really?
I'm in like northeastern Pennsylvania. Reading is like in the eastern part. I had a guy from Pittsburgh come in for a car, New York City,
Really?
Philadelphia. Like they come from all over, Connecticut, Virginia.
Wow.
I guess I have pretty good prices. So, and they trust me because they see me on Facebook, and like they know who I am. So then they trust me.
Mhm.
Also, like what if you have zero funds and you want to do this, what you can also do is just with connections, like check around maybe shops or friends that you know that are selling cars, or just go on Marketplace. Often the guys on Marketplace, they sell several cars, so you could just get to know them and offer that you can promote their cars on your Facebook. So then even if you have zero funds, you can promote for them and arrange with them how much commission they will give you. So that could be a small way to get started.
Mhm.
Also, if you're not a dealer, and you can go on Copart and buy wrecked cars. You don't have to be a dealer to do that and fix them. If you're good at fixing cars, which that's not my gift, but that's one way you can get started. And then, like we said at the beginning, team up with someone. Don't do this on your own.
Mhm.
If I can do this, you can too. Like I wasn't into cars. I didn't even know cars. But now after like just since August, like now I go down the road and I see a car in front of me, and like I have to know what kind of car it is. And I'm like, oh, I sold that car. I sold that car. So like it's fun to I like almost an obsession. I have to like, what car is it? Oh, it's this car. And then I'm like trying to sell every kind of car. So anyway, go ahead. Any other questions?
Those are great tips. We started the Flipping Genius podcast 4 years ago. I've done 100, and this would be 169th episode of it.
Oh.
And we talk about a lot of the things that you just went through. You've been living them.
I've been listening to your podcast.
Okay, great. And yeah, I think the partnership is something that I'm intrigued by. It's something I've done, and it's really interesting to hear what you've done with it. And another thing that I love that you mentioned, and we just 2 episodes ago, or I get them mixed up. We had Andrew from Rogue Wrenching on, and we talked about faith, and we talked about prayer and involving God in our business. And so it's intriguing to me that you've mentioned it again, because I'm not doing this intentionally, but I think it's important that you do that. I mean, if you have faith, it should be part of your business. And I'm excited to have the chance to have that on the Flipping Genius again, because I think it's important. I pray about every vehicle that we find the right buyer for it.
Yeah.
And, so right now, I think God's having trouble finding buyers for a few of my vehicles. Maybe I should have bought them better.
Listen, every vehicle has a boyfriend
Yeah.
or girlfriend.
Yeah, they really do, and I know ultimately that's how it happens. Well, Sue, it's exciting to hear what you're doing. Where do you see this going? Do you have plans beyond the 30 cars? Or where do you want to go with it?
I don't know. I it's so exciting. I just go step by step. So yeah, 30 cars on the lot for now, and then if it goes well, my son is in Florida. He's into. He wanted me to get his license too, so I know he might start up something. I don't know. Like if I get good at this, maybe I can help others. I'd love to. This to be a blessing to many.
It is. There's so many opportunities, and I can tell that you're going to find them. That's exciting, because you see beyond, beyond the lot. I can tell, and that's exciting stuff. I noticed. I noticed your Facebook page and your involvement in the other products that you had there, and I know that opened some doors too. And what an exciting thing to be able to draw from your social media like you're doing.
Hey, it's free.
Fantastic.
Anybody can do it. Don't have to pay for advertising. I think most of your listeners might be podcasts, but if there's someone on YouTube, I'll give a quick tour of the place. My daughter just painted this fall, so we're still in the middle of remodeling it. But also, my sister got us a nice coffee maker, so it's a nice espresso machine here. And then I don't know how well you can see, but Let's do a quick one on the lot here.
Yeah.
Where about 10 or so cars are.
Yeah. We got a little Mini out there.
Oh yeah, Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks just like my son's car.
Highlander.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. If you are watching the podcast, I do want to say that every podcast we shoot is now available on our YouTube channel too. So if you're not seeing this, you can go back and watch it. Yeah, you got a lot of room for a lot of vehicles out there.
Yeah. So it's a nice spot.
And you just I saw you were just restriping the lot. Looks
yeah,
top notch. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it seal coated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leasing this place, and
Mm-hmm.
the landlord paid some of it, thankfully.
Yeah, very, very nice. Looks outstanding. And so you do some in-house financing, or are you using
A third party.
Okay.
I don't like the in-house because I want to keep the funds for flipping new. I have a few that friends maybe, but like that's not what I do.
Sure. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities, and I just read an article by Kathy Cruz this morning. Kathy's been on the podcast a couple times. You probably see her stuff. She talks about social media a lot. That's really her specialty, and has been speaking of women in the car business. Kathy's run multi-million-dollar operations out in California, and I see her newsletter. I think once or twice a month, and usually her articles in Used Car Dealer magazine. And she's talking a lot about how to use social media to enhance what we do, and it's exciting to see you doing exactly what she's talking about. So,
thank you.
Pretty cool. Hey, I know you got stuff to do. It's the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Now, while you folks are listening to this, it'll be later because I'm lazy and it'll take me a couple days to edit this. But I really appreciate you taking the time, Sue, to spend part of your holiday with me and share your story. And you can see Sue on the Car Flipping Forum. You can find the Car Flipping Forum at Facebook groups. Just go to Facebook groups and look up Flipping Genius, and boom, you'll see our Car Flipping Forum, which is rapidly gaining. We should be at 1,000 members soon, and folks are sharing their information. It's really been beneficial, and sharing their ideas, sharing their questions, sharing their struggles, sharing their success stories. That's the whole idea of the forum. It's free to join, and it gives you an opportunity to learn from each other. And Sue, thank you for sharing there too. I've seen you do that, and that's awesome. Anything else you want to share with the world? We have listeners in 88 countries now, so and some of them speak Spanish, so you could lay down some Spanish if you want.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Un placer. Espero que le vaya muy bien. And if y'all want to follow me, and if you want to see my stuff, my personal Facebook is Sue Kornelson. It's Kornelsen. So que tengan buen día.
Okay, I'll put links to that in the show notes, and possibly you mentioned Atomic Habits. I haven't seen that one. I listen to a lot of books while I walk. I walk about 6 miles a day, and that's one that will be on my list for sure. And thank you so much for sharing that and helping other people. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast.